Hi readers, welcome back to my channel, Lila Wanders and Reads. Lee here, and it has been weeks since I've done a video because school has taken over my life. Also, I did have family come in for a week, so that took precedence over recording any videos. So I did actually read 2 books in the period that I've been offline, and I will tell you about them. The first one I don't have a physical copy of. I listened to Stephen King's From a Buick 8, and I gave that 3 stars. The writing was good, but it was kind of boring. Because basically it's about these old police officers telling a young man about his father and this mysterious Buick that is like from another world or something like that. And nothing really happened. They talk about things happening, but it was just okay. Sorry, I don't know why I need to move. The other book, also just okay, was a surprise to me. The actual book, I think, is outside. And that was a book I had been looking forward to, Abby Jimenez's The Night We Met. In this, for Larissa, okay, sorry, let me back up. In everyone's life, there's a split-second decision that can change everything. For Larissa, it came when choosing which guy to ride home with after a concert. That night, she had no idea she'd met the perfect man. She and Chris are great together, co-parenting a slightly unhinged rescue Yorkie, sharing their favorite books, and judging bread, pumpernickel for the win. For the first time after all her side hustles to scrape by, things finally feel easy. But Chris isn't the one who drove Larissa home all those months ago. Chris is her boyfriend's best friend. All Chris wants is for Larissa to be happy. Standing by on the sidelines is slowly killing him, but making a move would destroy someone else. How can something that feels so right be so absolutely impossible? And again, I really had high hopes. Some of the other people who complained about this book complained about the emotional cheating. I don't care about that. In real life, I would. But in the book, I just didn't feel any, not charisma, connection between Larissa and her actual boyfriend, and they kind of made him out to be, Abby kind of made him out to be almost a caricature. And I was really disappointed by that. And Chris, I didn't care for either. I just didn't really care for any of the characters. They were just meh. What I'd like to see is the boyfriend. I've already forgotten his name. I'd like to see his redemption story. Abby, if you're listening. Because this one just did not work for me. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, I read it in one night, so the writing is good, except for I just did not get any of the emotional depth that I wanted. I will say I've just given up trying to read for leisure now because school has really overtaken my life. I have spent weeks reading Japan's Imperial Army, its rise and fall, 1853 to 1945. I have read and reread, and this week I'll be finishing it up because I am almost to the end. But I've been using this to write papers. Also, I am now listening to a book my sister, when she was here, recommended to me, and that is Adam Ferguson's When Money Dies, The Nightmare of Deficit Spending, Devaluation, and Hyperinflation in Weimar Germany. I'm not going to read you the back of this because that's really what this is about. And again, because it's about Weimar Germany, I think it's going to be a good, appropriate read for my studies. Lastly, like I said, I haven't been making time for leisure reading because I've been doing so much reading for school that when I get done for the night, I'm tired. I'm tired of reading and I just want to, not. And I can't even watch TV, so there's that. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I'm trying to grow it out. We'll see how it is. But in addition to that, something happened yesterday. So when I was applying for school, I went and downloaded all old syllabuses for classes that I have to take. And I looked at them, and this summer I am taking a class about the Holocaust called Holocaust Collaboration and Resistance. So I looked at last year's semester with a different teacher, different syllabus. Yesterday, the syllabus for this summer arrived completely different. A lot of reading and a conference paper, which I've never written before, that will require an annotated bibliography, never done that before, a primary source and secondary source analysis. So this looks like it's going to be a really tough 8-week course that's coming up in May. So I'm not even going to try to read anything else but that, because I have to do well on this class coming up. And there's going to be a lot of firsts for me. If anybody knows anything about doing a conference paper, please hit me up in the comments. The positive thing about that class is once I get my paper, you have to have the topic approved and written. Then I also have to do a video presentation. It can have PowerPoint slides, but I don't know how to do that on my camera yet. But I think I will do well at that because I have experience doing video presentations, as you know. Anywho, I just wanted to check in. It has been weeks. It will probably be more weeks before you hear from me again, but I am still here, still working toward my goal. And one day, my books will be ready for me when I'm ready to read for leisure again. I will try to check in once a month from now on, but it definitely won't be weekly. That is it for me. Happy reading, and as always, if you stuck with me this far, thank you for sticking with me on my journey.